So welcome back everyone. I'm recording this episode directly after the last episode because I just man, that was 30 minutes long. That felt like 5 for me. I'm just this is having a great time with this. Just want to keep going. So I'm going to plan to play through another year right now. So yeah, nothing much happened on our 18th year. We made it. We talked with that officer dude, Sir LaCroix, I think his name was, and then we decided on the case of the enigmatic singer, which we didn't actually get to see any of her singing, but she appears to definitely be some kind of witch. No, interested to see how she plays into the rest of the story. I imagine she did. That would be kind of weird if they just brought her in, never to mention her again. I hope that's not the case, at least. But sorry, I have something in my teeth. Let's move on to our 19th year, year 1137, summer. The overseer of Magra. Two major events takes place while you're busy living your life. Ooh, excuse me. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the great chancellor of the empire. He's been ousted and sent back to his province. His replacement is the Archduke of Monia, egregious Monrogue, or Montague, the same Montague who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm finally convinced the emperor that his brother Cornelius was given too much freedom to the lower born. Dick. Now the policies of the empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new chancellor will destroy the imperial codes of law and other achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say the new great chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by the mantle. Oh, that's so sad. There's probably backroom scheming that ended up happening to get this to happen. I wonder if Mr. Montague here got to blackmail the Emperor. We haven't actually seen the Emperor. I wonder if we're ever going to meet the Emperor in this game, or he just kind of remain an enigmatic figure in the background. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, now has a new overseer, Gaius Tempest, the older brother of Emperor Uther II. Usually the overseer of a province is Archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor's will to the locals. Yet, now this age-old tradition has been broken, and, to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Milanidas is absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former great chancellor Cornelius Tempest. The nobles at the emperor's court say this is a stratagem by the Arcanian gentry, who want Gaius removed from court affairs along with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Milanidas will be at each other's throat over the province. This does not bode well for their future. I wonder if this is going to be the insurrection. We're going to have these two lead the revolt, or what's going to happen. Only one thing is clear. Magra, your home province, is about to face great changes. Yeah, we're gonna get more towards the struggle of power. How did that make the commoners more in power? Considering, didn't we just say that they were afraid that they were going to be stripped of their rights? Okay, game, that's an interesting choice. And that brought us more towards peace, too. Okay, like, people are worrying about these laws are getting stripped away, and that brings peace? Interesting. Interesting. A great feast for all. The capital is preparing for a great celebration, the coming of age of Yaren Tempest, heir to the throne. The streets are being cleaned, the lowborn merchants are gone from the squares, and flags and flower garlands have appeared on the buildings. By the Emperor's decree, everyone will celebrate for the next 3 days. Eterna is abuzz. A festival procession starts on the streets. Students from the college and cadets from the military academy will be there to show their gratitude to the Emperor's family for entrusting them with the power they wield. Ribbons and flags flutter in the wind. The streets are scrubbed clean, and the scent of flowers fills the air. You march side by side with Tomas, carrying the banner of your province. Your friend's brown hair is unusually well combed today. He waves to every girl you see on the streets as you pass by. They giggle shyly, and some of them wave back. Did you see that, pal? Look at that beauty. She just smiled at me. Now this is what I call living. I just love parades. The Tempest royal family observes the slowly approaching parade from the balcony of the Imperial Palace. They are joined by the Emperor's highest dignitaries and provincial overseers. You see Emperor Uther II with your own eyes there, high above, yet so close. The columns come to a halt at the balcony and salute the Emperor with the mottos of the college and the academy. You join the other college students in crying, "Learning is strength! Learning is will!" The Emperor raises his hand in a gesture of benevolent greeting. His voice echoes across the square. I didn't actually expect the Emperor to necessarily look like this. For this kind of country, I assumed he would be a more bulky figure, to be honest, but okay. Oh, this answers my question if we're going to see the Emperor. I accept your gratitude, my loyal subjects. Take pride as you wield your knowledge and valor in service of the Empire. All who will be worthy will be emboldened by the mantle, by my grace. The future nobles around you cheer the Emperor's words, but their jubilation gives words to murmurs of discontent when Archduke Montague, the new great Chancellor of the Emperor, steps onto the balcony. Everyone here remembers all too well how the Archduke attempted to shut down the college by force. Still, the Archduke is the de facto leader of the Arcanian gentry. He is a force to be reckoned with, even for the Empire, and so he is the great Chancellor now. Oh, what voice did I have? I remember it was snooty, but I couldn't... Hail, your Empire, common folk, be forever obedient and graceful for the good graces you do not deserve by birth. Is that the same voice I just did for the Emperor? I don't know. The Archduke does not even bother to hide his contempt for the gathering below. Booed by the crowd, he rejoices the dignitaries in the back row. You notice one of them, a slender, elegant figure under an emerald banner with a black snake. She's Octavia Milanidas, daughter to the Archduke of Magra. Now that's new. You notice Octavia too, eh? Our Archduke Milanidas sent his daughter in a steed. That's a sign of disrespect for the Emperor if I've seen one. Is he so enraged because he's no longer the overseer of Magra? I mean, you imagine the surprise. That's never happened before. But then everyone grows silent. A young, slender Arcanian with a shy smile comes forth. There are whispers in the crowd. That's Prince Jerian, heir to the throne, ward of Cornelius, promise and hope of the common estate. To the left of Jerian is his younger brother Flavius. He is baffled by the sight of the parade below, too young to process what he is seeing. May the twins be kind to you, my future subjects. I promise to repay you in kind and help you prosper in your loyal service to the Emperor. Exalted by his will as the future noble's war is won. All hail Prince Jerian! Another figure steps into view next to the heir. He's Arcanian, elegantly dressed, and his mantle bears the Tempest colors. He raises his arms, about to make a speech. Hey look, this ties Tempest, the Emperor's brother, and the new overseer Magra, by the by. He seems Arcanian elves want him just as far from the throne as possible, just like the other brother Cornelius. Those two have been promising too many freedoms to commoners like you and me. Long live Prince Jerian, students of the college, cadets of the academy. Time and time again you have proven yourselves to the Emperor by word and deed. Today is a great day of celebration, and in honor of Prince Jerian, you must ask the Emperor to guarantee forever the right of the distinguished common folk to be ennobled by the mantle. So ask now. The cadets and students freeze in hesitation. They exchange glances, unsure whether to follow the words of the Emperor's own brother. On the balcony high above, Prince Jerian also remains still, awaiting a reaction from the crowd. Archduke Montague briefly steps into view once more. He takes several seconds to observe the crowd before he speaks. Imperial subjects, what the Emperor's brother wishes to say is that you must always remember that you owe your status to the Tempest dynasty. The Emperor accepts your gratitude and sends you off with his blessing. You may leave now. But the columns stay where they are. That's not what Gaius Tempest said. Let the Emperor hear us. The law! We ask for the law! Commotion and murmurs spread over the crowd as some of the future nobles refuse to follow the Archduke's order. There are shouts heard here and there. The law! We ask for the law! The academy officers and teachers of the college urge them to fall in line and resume the parade, but tension is riding. The crowd slowly grows enraged and unruly. You have to decide where you stand here. So we can follow the order, but we need a diplomacy greater than 12, which we don't have. Sad. We can demand our rights, which gives us 1 valor, or we can bide our time, which gives us 10 willpower, but minus 1 power. I am going to stand up for and demand my rights. It gives us a point of valor, and we're getting close to 16, and that will put us over the next threshold. So definitely, we're going to demand our rights. You cry out in support of Gaius Tempest' call for the law. You have the right to be heard and the right to ask. Your voice grows stronger. Soon others join you. The chant grows louder with every second. The law! The law! Inspired by the support of your fellow students and cadets, you move through the square and urge others to join you. Tomas walks by your side, waving his arms wildly, inciting others to shout along with you. The law! The law! You, Tomas, and other vocal students and cadets gather in the very center of the square. Academy officers are trying to shout you into submission and order you back in the procession, but they're barely heard above your chant. Still, some submit and form back into the columns. But the impassioned chant continues, and you're at the very heart of this chanting crowd. An Imperial Guard cavalry regiment emerge from the palace. They start slowly advancing on the crowd, hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. You have to stand your ground, so you start giving orders to defend the cobblestones beneath your feet with your fellow future nobles. You assemble into the double chain formation around the center of the square. It is strong enough to prevent the Imperial Guard from reaching the very center. The commoners go running left and right away from the horses, but the cavalry stops when it reaches your double chain. They cannot break through unless they are ordered to attack, and so they halt and wait for orders. The horses paw at the cobblestone. The cavalry swords are drawn, ready to come crashing down upon your heads. It is a standoff between the armor-clad cavalry and the unarmored students and cadets. Emperor Uther II appears on the balcony again, joined by his brother Gaius Tempest and heir to the throne Gerion Tempest. With a gesture, the emperor calls for attention. The square falls silently at the sight of the sovereign. My subjects, I have heard your requests. There's no need to repeat it again and again. The great Imperial Council shall review my brother's proposal. Now follow your lot and obey my will. Continue the parade and sing the praises of the ever-merciful Prince Gerion. These words from the emperor are enough to quell the commotion in the square. The standoff ends and the cavalry withdraws. I think that's a pretty fair way to deal with the situation, so good on the emperor. Well, would you look at that, old friend? We did it! We stood up for our noble right and we won. That's the emperor's word. That's what courage can do. Voices from the crowd are quick to disprove Tomas. The emperor never gave his word. He only promised to review the proposal. People begin to argue around you again. This time, however, no one wishes to disobey the orders from on high, and so the students line up into columns once again. The bout of defiance is in the past now, and everyone resumes the festive parade throughout the city streets. Glory to Emperor Uther. Glory to Prince Gerion. Yeah, we are 1 point away from being a seasoned warrior. So that's nice. And then, even though we have not been in a fight to date. Your studies at the college come easily to you. Only now do you realize the importance of all the lessons you had to endure as a child at father's expense. Month after month, you study the judge's trade down to the smallest details, growing more confident in your new calling with every lecture. But there's more to education than the judge's trades in imperial law. You also learn manners and courtly etiquette, and poetry and composition, and even fencing. On some days you go with Tomas to a deserted pass of land to practice with the sword. Oh, I forgot, this chapter, or this part is named The Way of the Sword. Then finally, the day of your judge's exam comes. You send your test results to father, and he replies with an appointment to a judge's office at the prefecture of Magra. Now you have the new life and a new profession back home. You return to your hometown as a judge. It is early morning at the great temple of the twins. Your heart skips a beat as you step inside the temple. It seems like the day from your childhood again. The priest is standing at the altar, and the temple is divided into two halves. But you are no longer a frightened little child anymore. You are a grown man who is about to become a noble. The floor on the common side is there to cause pain. You feel the jagged edges even through the soles of your boots. The pain marks your final few seconds as a commoner. The priest stands before you. You kneel again. But now there is warm, smooth marble under your knees. You hear the words spoken above your head. From this day forth your lot is strength and will. From this day forth you will rule, and fight, and pursue the arts. Now rise, noble. You place your lips on the smooth steel sword, and when you rise again you realize that the trembling you felt ever since your first sacrament is now completely gone. You arise a new man, your every motion now uncannily accurate, your thoughts surprisingly fresh, your muscles ready to face the fight. This day feels worthy of a poem, and now you can compose one if you so wish. You touch your back. The mark of the lash from your previous sacrament is gone, completely erased forever. You hurry from the sacrament back to your room at the college. Your father's gift awaits you. A sword! Your very own sword! Now it's time to celebrate. All college students are invited to the college tournament, then a party. The sword feels wonderful in your hand, a promise of future victories. The tournament begins. The stands are loud with anticipation. Never in your entire life have you seen so many beautiful, noble ladies in one place, but there's only one who attracts everyone's attention. The raven-haired, black-eyed Octavia Milanidas, the daughter to the Archduke of Magra, has graced the tournament with a visit. She's wearing a dress of emerald green, her austere hairdo immaculate. She's surrounded by her ladies-in-waiting, all beauties in their own right. When a noble enters the tournament, he must announce the name of the lady whose honors he's fighting for. Many shout the name of their loved ones in the stalls. You know that many would fight for Octavia Milanidas, but the onus of responsibility is too great. You take a few jabs with your sword, warming up for the fight. Soon it is your turn. All eyes are on you now. The young lady Octavia hides her face behind the hand fan, yet her eyes watch you with curiosity. So we can fight in Octavia's name. Octavia Milanidas is like you. We can... Wait, what? Oh, we can... Destiny... We needed Valor greater than or equal to 12. This obviously seems like the better option then. Because we gain a Valor, we gain victory in the tournament. And she becomes intrigued. So, what does this do? So we needed to be... we're acquainted then. Wow. Oh, you can't do it because she does... Okay, I see. This is how you move from being remembered to becoming acquainted. Makes sense. She's ill-disposed. We will dedicate the fight to our father then. A victory in the tournament. You approach the stalls and introduce yourself. Then you announce your decision. You will fight in the name of your father, Robert Brante. You earn this noble title only because he taught you well, and honor demands you dedicate your victories to him. The stalls go quiet. Unlike the other fighters in the arena, you are not fighting in a lady's name. The first fight begins. The rules are the same as for any noble duel. Whoever draws first blood wins. Your opponent does not put up much of a fight. A few minutes later, he misses a jab to the thigh. Your shirt is soaked with sweat. The hilt of your sword feels slippery in your wet fingers. Still, you prevail in 3 fights in a row, then prepare to face a new opponent. You know him well. He was mentored at the Prefecture of Eterna after you. He's an unusually quick and nimble fighter. Again and again, you find yourself driven to the edge of the arena to avoid his jabs. Then, with a slashing feint, you draw your opponent's blood. Another victory. To your surprise, you're about to fight for the champion's title. You will face Jose Pelletier, the best fencer in the college, with 5 wins in this tournament alone. Your skill pales before the mastery he has attained after a month of grueling practice with the sword. He assaults you with a flurry of cuts, thrusts, and jabs. You can barely react in time to deflect them. But then you recall a bright moment from your childhood. Your first fencing lesson with father. The first man to teach you how to dodge a lunge. This memory comes alive in your mind. You stand more confidently now. You take a few steps back to catch your breath and study your opponent. This Pelletier is good at keeping his distance and following an attack with a defense. Yet his movements are too learned, too mechanical. So you try a trick. First you pretend there is an opening in your defense. You rush him suddenly, then follow your assault with a feint. The sudden, unpredictable attack catches your opponent off guard. He jumps to the side, but not before the very tip of your sword catches Pelletier on the right shoulder. He's itching to continue the fight, but a patch of red spreads across the sleeve of his shirt. Victory! You salute the stalls and dedicate the victory to your father, Robert Brante. Your fellow students pick you up and carry to the stalls as everyone chants your name. The winners rewarded the tournament ribbon, and Lady Octavia Milanidas, the tournament's guest of honor, will tie it around your sword herself. The crowd parts as the daughter of the Archimega walks towards you. All this time, Octavia's been watching you closely from behind her emerald hand fan. She ties the ribbon of honor around your blade. You have proven yourself admirably, Sir Brante. A worthy victory. Your father has every right to be proud. The son of a judge from Anzote. Who would have known we would meet one another here in the capital of the Empire? Must say I'm amazed. I will remember your name. The eyes of the young Archduchess follow you even as you leave the arena victorious. You will remember this day for the rest of your life, the day when you became a noble. So now she's intrigued. She's got an interest in us. Let's go, bro! Now we're a seasoned warrior. That actually makes sense that we made that progression after winning the tournament. So oh, we graduated from college. You've earned the judge's mantle and the noble title. And we have won the tournament. Nice. Let's keep going. Let's see where we land. Is this going to be end of the year? And no, it's not. Oh, interesting. Year 1137, winter. Daimont stands trial. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the street. Julius Daimont, Patriarch of Austinian and one of the leaders of the New Faith, will stand trial before a church tribunal. The order of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and disseminating heresy. The Holy Tribunal claimed that Junius Daimont was scheming to free all witches and sorceresses from the collars that fetter their accursed powers. And what's worse, the Patriarch was also accused of forming the Lotless, a dangerous secret society based in the imperial capital. Members of the society have been assaulting inquisitors and priests of the church, as well as freeing witches from the cleansing fire and helping them escape the holy law. Now the Patriarch must face the holy tribunal of the Inquisition in Turna. By all accounts, this is a devastating blow to the new faith and the end of the days for Junius Daimon himself. The Inquisition will make the most of this opportunity to rid the land of this unwelcome Patriarch who dare shake the foundation of the old faith. Yeah, this is a prime opportunity. I wonder what they caught him on. Because was it all exposed at once? Or like who snitched on him? Or what happened, I wonder. But then comes the sudden news of Patriarch Junius's reply to the Holy Tribunal. It is no less stunning than the accusation. These words are nothing but lies. I will say that to anyone who dares to bring this accusation against me in person. But I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of the responsibility for the slander against me. My flock, the Daimon dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agree to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I will face them on my own land and on my terms. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many priests across Arcania. Parishes of the New Faith throughout the Empire are now speaking out in support of Junius Daimon. The Church of the Twin Gods is about to rent in twain. The Inquisition has no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. Their new official stance is that Patriarch Junus has been wrongfully accused, and that the Holy Tribunal will now apply more cautious judgment during any future trials along against the followers of the new faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Fotis is following the teaching of Patriarch Fotis is no longer seen as heresy by the Inquisition. Huh. You think by giving them power, you're going to prevent the schism in the long run? No, what's probably going to happen is they're given power, and then somebody new's come along and says, I don't like them having that much power. But then they're like, dude, we have power now, and you can't take that away from us. And he's going to be like, yeah, I can take it away from you, and then try to take it away from them, and that's going to lead to the schism and maybe a war. So, the trial of Junius Daimon has been averted, but the divide within the church is only deepening. The new faith has directly challenged the old faith. The result is uncertain, depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Daimon all but pled guilty. Others believe the Patriarch and the alleged rebellion against the Church, as well as the Inquisition, is nothing but a ruse. There are also people who think the entire situation sounds like one of the secret Chancellery's dirty deeds. One way or another, I'm sorry, the Patriarch of Astinia and co-leader of the New Faith remains at his post. But, for how long? And how will the new faith and the old faith clash next? Yeah, we're at schism. A farewell to the capital. The Reglata and Tilerina rivers meet outside the city walls. You've barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face, and the bright noon sun hangs above the shining pillar. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrived here a boy, full of hopes and aspirations, driven by the family's expectations and a desire to live your life as you saw fit. And now you have to leave, and this thought fills you with gentle sadness. Eterna did not become your home, and yet you have finally found your path. Here in the capital, you became a nobleman and a judge. Now you are one of the rulers, the warriors, the pleasure seekers, the creators, those who spilled their blood for the empire and family and honor. Those who keep honor and the age-old traditions. That dude, the typos get me every time. This is your lot now. You are to work in the prefecture of your home province as a judge. Your path to this goal was a long one, and your friend Tomas was by your side all the while. You finally recall your walks through the streets of Eterna, your secret fencing lessons, your heartfelt discussions. You have no doubt your future back in the Anazote will be full of glory. And then you recall the black, enigmatic eyes of Octavia Milanidas, an Arcanian from one of the great dynasties, a woman whose beauty and majesty make you tremble. You heard she would be returning to the court of her father, the Archduke of Magra. Will you see her again? Undoubtedly. You will meet your father once more. He tends to hide his feelings, but not this time. After all, you have fulfilled all his hopes, succeeded in your studies, and continued your family's noble legacy. Many things must have changed back home by now. You recall your older brother Stefan. Now that you have been a noble, you're practically equals at last. That means you should follow an old tradition and bring Stefan a gift. And so you head for the Martyr district of Eterna. Soon, you are busy trying out swords at a weaponsmith shop. There's a lot to consider for this gift. Stefan is taller, and his shoulders are broader, which means his sword must be heavier and longer. There can be no embellishments. Stefan would scoff at you if you brought him an extravagant weapon. At last, you find a suitable sword, blackened steel, a subtle ornament of leaves on the blade, and a grip shaped like womanbines. It resembles the seared soil of Magra beneath the silver tree. You choose the sheath with the same diligence. There, a light wooden frame bound in thin yet sturdier leather will make the blade easy to draw, and the buckle is sturdy enough. You leave the shop satisfied. You leave the capital after Eterna. The city who you spent 4 years slowly disappears on the horizon. Will you see the capital again? You do not know. The sword, a gift for Stefan, is in your hands. So we'll likely go till the beginning of the next chapter in this episode, just because it would be weird to end off here. But so Stefan likes us more now because we bought him a gift. Oh, homecoming. After 4 years in the capital, you return to your home city of Anazote. The end of youth. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return to your family and new businesses in your hometown of Anazote. The years away from home are full of tumult and hardship. Your adult shoulders now bear the burden of your first life-changing decisions. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot for yourself? Or was it your destiny all along? Ever since your childhood years, all you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. So that was our end of chapter at the youth. I think this would be a good screen to end on. Once we'll go through the rest of these. See what qualities we have. But oh, this was the event. So yeah, let's go through the decisions. Arriving, yep, we chose the path of the nobleman by charging into the college. We made friends with Tomas. Honestly, because I thought it'd be probably more beneficial to me moving forward to have a friend who's always willing to have my back. Then we did not let Elias die. I really wonder how she's gonna play into the rest of the story, because I'm interested. I wonder if like her and Sophia are gonna work together or something like that. We'll just have to wait and see. And we graduated. We won the tournament and got Octavia Milanidas very interested in us as a result. So yes, this chapter. Okay, I'm honestly gonna say this chapter felt really short. I don't know what it was, but it had some good decisions, like helping I don't remember his name, but the dude out that was about to face his true death, and we worked with Sophia in that. I really enjoyed that choice. Like I thought the choice to go into, like, it was kind of natural to choose between the three lots, becoming a priest. So I thought that was pretty good. I don't remember the other decisions though. They didn't feel very weighty, to be honest. Like, you know. So it wasn't. I definitely just enjoyed the first two chapters more because I just felt it was shaping me more, as having more direct impact. This is literally creating an impact. Like I literally chose it. It was that more direct. So loved it. Like I said, I'm enjoying the hell out of this, and I'm so curious to see what the next two chapters hold for us. Yeah, we're not as diplomatic as I would have liked, but we are very valorous. We don't have much manipulation or theology. We have a lot of valor, not much eloquence, not too much scheming. We have more scheming than eloquence. I would rather have more eloquence, but yeah, that will bring us to the end of this chapter. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here because next time we'll come back and we'll watch the opening, whatever they have waiting for us. The opening cinematic. That was the word I was looking for. So again, leave your thoughts down in the comments. What were your thoughts on this chapter? Did you like it as much as the other chapters? Do you like it more? Do you like it less? What are your thoughts on my decisions either? Would you have gone the path of the noble, or do you think it was actually better to go the path of the lotless? You know, you these are just my decisions. Nobody claim that they're right decisions, but these are just the decisions I have landed upon through my experiences. So, until next chapter, my friends, see ya.